Most men believe power is loud. They believe dominance is proven through confrontation, raised voices, sharp words, and public victories. They think winning means being seen winning. That belief is exactly why they lose. Powerful men understand something darker and far more effective. The strongest victories happen where no battle ever appears to take place. If you need to confront, you are already late. If you need to explain, you are already behind. If you need to prove, you have already surrendered leverage. The world is not ruled by the man who argues best. It is ruled by the man who makes arguments unnecessary. Most conflicts are traps. They are designed to pull you into emotional exposure, public positioning, and reactive behavior. Once you engage, you reveal your values, your insecurities, your pressure points. The moment you confront, you give your opponent information, and information is power. Powerful men do not confront because confrontation equalizes the field, brings both parties to the same level. It signals that the other person is worthy of your emotional energy. That alone elevates them. Instead, powerful men operate through environmental dominance. They don't fight inside the frame, they change the frame itself. Look closely at how real authority behaves. The man at the top of the table rarely interrupts. He rarely defends himself. He rarely reacts immediately, not because he is passive, but because time works for him. Confrontation is for the impatient. Power belongs to the patient. When a man confronts you, what does he want? A reaction, validation, emotional proof that he has touched something inside you. If you react, you have confirmed his relevance. Powerful men deny relevance before denying arguments. This is why silence unsettles insecure people. Silence forces them to sit with their own uncertainty. It removes the feedback loop they rely on to feel powerful. In dark psychology, the most destabilizing response is not aggression. It is non-engagement paired with unchanged behavior. You do not explain. You do not correct. You do not escalate. You continue moving as if nothing happened. This creates cognitive dissonance. The aggressor expects friction. They expect resistance. When it doesn't arrive, their mind searches for meaning, and the meaning they land on is dangerous for them. Maybe I misjudged his position. Maybe he knows something I don't. Maybe I overplayed. Doubt is a weapon. Powerful men don't confront because they understand hierarchy intuitively. They know that high-status individuals are evaluated by outcomes, not reactions. When you confront publicly, you are stepping into a performance arena. You are now playing for approval, not authority. Authority never explains itself. This is why the most effective leaders handle conflict indirectly. They shift access. They alter incentives. They let behavior reveal itself to others. Instead of calling someone out, they remove opportunities. Instead of arguing, they stop investing. Instead of defending, they let time expose patterns. Confrontation creates a moment. Non-confrontation creates a narrative. And narratives are far more powerful than moments. A man who constantly confronts teaches people how to provoke him. A man who remains calm, distant, and consistent becomes unpredictable, and unpredictability breeds caution. This is the hidden advantage. Powerful men win without confrontation because they don't fight people. They outlast behavior. They let impulsive men burn bridges loudly. They let emotional men expose themselves. They let insecure men talk. And when the dust settles, the man who said the least stands tallest. This is not weakness. This is restraint weaponized. In the next part, we'll break down the specific psychological mechanisms that make non-confrontation feel terrifying to weak men, and why mastering them instantly raises your perceived status in any room. Why non-confrontation terrifies weak men and exposes them. To understand why powerful men win without confrontation, you must first understand why weak men cannot tolerate it. Weak men need confrontation. They need noise. They need reaction. They need visible resistance. Because confrontation reassures them that they exist. When a weak man provokes and you respond, even negatively, his nervous system calms. He has confirmation. I matter enough to disturb him. This is why insults escalate when ignored. This is why passive-aggressive comments get sharper when unanswered. This is why manipulators become frantic around calm people. Non-confrontation removes emotional oxygen, and when oxygen disappears, panic begins. Most men confuse confrontation with strength because confrontation feels active. It feels masculine. It feels decisive. But psychologically, it is the opposite. Confrontation is often a stress response, not a strategic one. It is the nervous system saying, I must correct this now or I lose control. Powerful men do not experience this urgency. Why? Because they are not trying to control people. They are controlling position. Here is the distinction most men never grasp. Low-status men fight to be right. High-status men allow others to be wrong, publicly, repeatedly, and without interruption. Why? Because being wrong costs nothing to someone without authority, but being exposed costs everything. When you confront someone directly, you give them a stage. You give them symmetry. You give them importance. When you refuse to confront, you deny all three. This creates a psychological imbalance. The other person is now carrying emotional weight alone. They feel foolish. They feel uncertain. They feel exposed. And uncertainty is unbearable to the insecure. This is why weak men force confrontations. They corner you. They demand explanations. They provoke emotional clarity. They are trying to stabilize their position by pulling you down to theirs. Powerful men refuse the invitation. They understand that status is not negotiated in moments. It is inferred over time. If someone disrespects you once and you explode, you look volatile. If someone disrespects you repeatedly and nothing happens, observers start watching them instead. They begin asking quiet questions. Why is he not reacting? Does he not care? Is this beneath him? The focus shifts. Non-confrontation forces the aggressor to overextend. They talk too much. They repeat themselves. They escalate. And escalation reveals desperation. In dark psychology, the person who escalates loses first, because escalation is an admission of failed control. Powerful men wait for this failure. They do not interrupt it. They allow weak men to demonstrate their own instability. This is why silence feels aggressive. It is not empty. It is loaded. Silence removes the emotional mirror. And without a mirror, Insecure people cannot regulate themselves. They begin projecting. They begin narrating. They begin justifying, all of which makes them look smaller. Powerful men don't confront because confrontation makes the conflict about words. Non-confrontation makes the conflict about behavior, and behavior is impossible to argue against. A man who shouts can later claim misunderstanding. A man who keeps acting out eventually loses allies. Time becomes the weapon. This is the deeper reason non-confrontation works. It recruits reality to fight on your behalf. Instead of you proving something, you let patterns prove themselves. Instead of defending your reputation, you let consistency speak. Instead of correcting lies, you let contradictions surface. Weak men cannot do this because they are addicted to immediacy. They want resolution now. They want closure now. They want reassurance now. Powerful men are comfortable with ambiguity. They let discomfort sit, especially when it is not theirs. And that is what terrifies weak men most. A man who is unmoved, unhurried, unprovoked. In the next part, we will expose the exact behavioral strategies powerful men use to neutralize enemies without confrontation, including how they shift power silently while others argue themselves into irrelevance. The silent behaviors that neutralize opponents. Non-confrontation is not passive. It is behavioral warfare. Powerful men do not win by arguing. They win by changing the environment around the aggressor until the aggressor collapses under their own behavior. Here is the first principle. Power is never announced. It is demonstrated indirectly. When someone challenges you openly, they want a duel. A duel places both of you on the same level. Powerful men refuse equality with challengers. Instead of confronting, they do three things silently. First, they reduce emotional availability. They respond slower, shorter, colder. Not to punish, but to signal distance. Distance creates uncertainty. Uncertainty creates fear. Second, they shift attention away from the conflict. They keep performing. They keep moving forward. They keep producing results. This tells observers this conflict is irrelevant, and relevance is everything. The man who keeps working while others argue is perceived as superior, even if nothing is said. Third, they let behavior repeat. This is crucial. Weak men confront at the first offense because they fear being disrespected. Powerful men wait. Why? Because one incident can be denied, two can be rationalized, but patterns cannot be defended. By allowing repetition, you turn a private irritation into a public verdict. The aggressor exposes himself. People stop asking what happened. They start noticing who keeps causing it. This is how reputations are destroyed without a single accusation. Powerful men understand a brutal truth. Most people do not need to be defeated. They need to be revealed. And revelation requires patience. When you confront, you become emotional. When you wait, they become careless. Carelessness is fatal. In the next part, we'll break down why confrontation actually strengthens manipulators and how silence drains their power at a biological level. Why confrontation feeds manipulators and silence starves them. To understand why powerful men avoid confrontation, you must understand what manipulators are actually feeding on. It is not logic. It is not truth. It is not resolution. It is emotional energy. Manipulators, narcissists, and power-seeking personalities are not driven by outcomes, they are driven by impact. They measure success by one metric only. Did I move him emotionally? Anger, defense, explanation, even passionate disagreement, all of it counts as nourishment. This is why confrontation never ends conflict with these people. It escalates it. The moment you confront, you confirm something dangerous. You have the power to disturb me. That confirmation is addictive. Your raised voice, your tightened jaw, your need to clarify. These are rewards. From a psychological standpoint, confrontation cements the hierarchy in their favor. Why? Because the person who reacts first has already lost control of the frame. Frames matter more than facts. A manipulator does not argue to be right. They argue to position you. When you confront them, you enter their arena, an arena they designed. They know how to twist words. They know how to feign confusion. They know how to reverse blame. You walk in thinking you are resolving a problem. They walk in knowing they are about to extract dominance. This is why powerful men do something counterintuitive. They let lies float. They let insults pass. They let accusations hang in the air. Not because they are weak, but because they understand time is corrosive to deception. A lie needs reinforcement. A false narrative needs repetition. A manipulator needs continuous engagement. Silence cuts the supply line. When you do not confront, something destabilizing happens inside the manipulator's mind. They lose feedback. They don't know if you noticed. They don't know if it worked. They don't know if you are planning something. That uncertainty triggers anxiety, and anxiety makes people sloppy. They overplay their hand. They repeat the manipulation. They escalate too quickly. This escalation is not strength. It is desperation. Powerful men wait for this moment because escalation exposes intent. When a manipulator escalates without resistance, observers begin to notice the imbalance. Questions arise. Why is he pushing so hard? Why is the other one so calm? Who actually looks unstable here? The social environment starts recalibrating without you saying a word. This is where confrontation fails and silence wins. Confrontation makes the conflict about two people. Silence makes it about one person behaving badly. And one person behaving badly cannot hide forever. Here is another brutal truth most men avoid. Defending yourself too early looks guilty, even when you are innocent. Why? Because defense implies fear of judgment. Powerful men do not rush to correct narratives because they trust position over explanation. They know that people don't remember arguments, they remember patterns. If you remain consistent, composed, and effective while someone attacks you, the attack collapses under its own weight. The aggressor begins to look obsessive. You begin to look unbothered. This asymmetry is lethal. At a biological level, silence activates a dominance response. In primate hierarchies, the dominant individual does not react to provocation. The subordinate one does. Reaction signals vulnerability. Stillness signals control. This is why silence feels so uncomfortable to the attacker. They are hardwired to expect reaction. When it doesn't come, their nervous system spikes. They feel ignored, dismissed, invalidated. And because they lack internal regulation, they externalize that discomfort, usually by making mistakes. Powerful men understand this. Silence forces your opponent to fight themselves. You are no longer the battlefield. You are the terrain. They exhaust themselves trying to move you. And when they finally collapse, emotionally, socially, or strategically, you are still standing. In the next part, we will break down how powerful men combine silence with selective action, knowing exactly when not to confront and when to end the game permanently. The art of selective action, when silence is not enough. Silence is powerful, but silence alone is not the full strategy. Powerful men do not remain silent forever. They remain silent until action becomes irreversible. This is where most men fail. They either confront too early or stay silent too long without direction. Both are mistakes. The key is selective action. Silence is used to gather information. Action is used to end the game. Powerful men understand a critical rule of dark psychology. You never reveal intent before execution. When a weak man plans to act, he talks, he vents, he threatens, he hints. All of this warns the opponent. A powerful man does the opposite. He says nothing. He adjusts position quietly. He removes leverage invisibly. By the time action is visible, the outcome is already decided. This is how wars are actually won, not with explosions, but with logistics. If the conflict is professional, the powerful man documents, emails, timelines, patterns. He does not accuse, he records. If the conflict is social, he changes proximity. He stops attending, stops engaging, stops providing access. No drama, no announcement. If the conflict is personal, he withdraws emotional investment. No validation, no reassurance, no repair attempts. He lets the relationship starve. This creates a psychological trap for the aggressor. They expect confrontation. They prepare for defense, but instead, they face consequences without explanation. Projects disappear. Opportunities dry up. Doors quietly close. And because there was no confrontation, they cannot retaliate cleanly. Retaliation requires a visible enemy. Silence removes the target. This is why powerful men never win arguments. They win outcomes. Another important distinction. Powerful men act once. Weak men act repeatedly. Repeated action signals instability. Single decisive action signals authority. This is why Machiavelli warned against half measures. A half measure invites revenge. A full measure ends the conflict. If you are going to remove someone from your life, remove them fully. If you are going to enforce a boundary, enforce it permanently. If you are going to disengage, do not return to explain. Explanation reopens the wound. The moment you explain your silence, destroy it. Powerful men accept being misunderstood in the short term to maintain control in the long term. They know something most people never learn. Clarity is a gift, not an obligation. Not everyone deserves access to your reasoning. Not everyone deserves closure. Not everyone deserves your emotional labor. Silence plus decisive action creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, the aggressor loses footing. They begin guessing. They begin projecting. They begin panicking. Meanwhile, you remain unmoved. This combination, restraint followed by irreversible action, is what separates power from passivity. In the final part, we will expose the psychological cost of mastering this approach and why most men cannot handle the solitude that comes with real power. The price of winning without confrontation. There is a cost to mastering this level of control, and it is not small. Powerful men who win without confrontation pay a psychological price that most people are unwilling to accept. They are misunderstood. They are labeled cold, arrogant, detached, unemotional, not because they are cruel, but because they refuse to perform emotions for others. Most men want to be seen as good. Powerful men are willing to be seen as dangerous. This distinction matters. When you stop confronting, people who relied on your reactions will panic. They will say you have changed. They will accuse you of becoming distant. They will try to provoke guilt. This is the final test. If you break silence to defend your character, you lose the advantage. If you remain grounded, the manipulation collapses. Here is the truth few men are prepared to face. You cannot be both widely liked and deeply respected. Respect comes from predictability of behavior, not emotional availability. It comes from consistency, not explanation. Powerful men understand that loneliness is not a failure, it is a filter. As you rise, fewer people can reach you. Fewer people can influence you. Fewer people feel entitled to you. This solitude sharpens judgment. It removes noise. It removes distraction. It removes emotional parasites. And in that quiet, something important happens. You stop reacting internally as well. Silence on the outside produces silence on the inside. Your nervous system stabilizes. Your decisions slow down. Your perception widens. You no longer feel the urge to prove. You no longer feel the urge to defend. You no longer feel the urge to dominate. And paradoxically, this is when dominance becomes natural. People sense it. They speak more carefully around you. They test less. They push less. Not because you threatened them, but because they felt nothing to grab onto. This is the highest form of power. Not intimidation, not manipulation, not confrontation. Unavailability. When you are unavailable emotionally, psychologically, and energetically, you become untouchable. You are no longer reactive matter. You are a fixed object in motion. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He knew that rulers who explained themselves lost authority. Rulers who argued lost position. Rulers who reacted lost leverage. But rulers who remained silent until action was necessary reshaped reality. This approach is not for everyone. Most men will retreat back into confrontation because it feels safer, it feels familiar, it feels righteous. But righteousness does not win wars. Control does. If you choose this path, understand what you are choosing. You are choosing restraint over release, position over validation, outcome over ego. And once you do, something irreversible happens. You stop needing to win because you already have. You are no longer reacting to the world. The world reacts to you.